Omu is a very hit or miss hero, like I usually get 8th or 1st place with her, but recently it's been more 1st than 8th places. I'm also doing a very cool leveling curve this game that I normally don't do, but you could just with a token level on turn 2 here, do like a normal curve, but instead I decide to stay down. I buy the bacon here so I can sell double buy on 5 gold. And I just, you know, I have a tier 4 buddy, so I need to get it rather quickly. I like playing strong boards, so I'm gonna commit my gems here as well and just take, you know, the biggest tempo options possible. And the curve that I'll be doing is the warrior curve or the shiny curve on Omu, which seems counterintuitive because Omu wants to level quickly, but you'll see why it is actually, you know, maybe a little bit underrated. I have a triple lined up. I'm just gonna freeze it and buy the other 2 because holding it in hand right now is just bad because you don't fill up your buddy meter, you're a lot weaker. And I also want to preserve health because obviously I'm a hero that likes power leveling. And yeah, Omo used to be one of my favorite heroes. Sadly, playing greedy is a little bit worse right now. But I'll show you how to maybe still pull it off. Now, this is the double level turn, so you'll see why it's so clean. I don't even need a token or a swabby or anything. I can just double level here. And because of my hero power, I even have 3 gold left. So you could just buy the triple into a 4-drop here. It's super beautiful, super clean, but I don't want the 4-drop. It's a no elemental lobby, and I'm just not a big fan of 4-drops right now. So you could just triple this into a 5 if you'd like next turn, but there's also no beasts in the lobby, meaning 5 is a little bit worse. There's no Nomi, so I'm just always leveling here. I got 2 gold left, I could just buy it, but like I mentioned, 5 isn't great. I'm on 33 HP still. I'm facing someone who's probably not insanely strong. And next turn I get my buddy as well. So I decide to just go for a 6 instead and freeze it again. Because 6 is really good. There's like Eliza. There's all the other high level stuff. I'm just going to take this pair on a mummy. And as well because we get our buddy next turn. So I'm on tier 5 and I will get 5 drops from my buddy. That is another big reason why I decide to go with this line. I think it's just a mix of stuff. And as you can see, we like barely lose against the Zakazan's Rock. Doesn't really matter. Now we got our buddy and it's gonna just give us 5 drops. So this buddy is something that you keep for like a couple turns. Don't keep it too long. Just try and get a spike of it and then sell it off. You can't ever triple it, I think. So we have to sell a combo here and probably sell a pub bot. I prefer keeping the demon in case we hit Firebat or in case you want to go Menagerie or hit a Malgadon, since I already have Max on the board and the other one is a pair. Let's see, and it's trash. We could have also hit Buster. Like there's a lot of good 6s, but I mean we can probably make Flat Tusk work, I guess. Tralga is more tempo for the turn, but Flat Tusk usually has a better better potential, since if I hit a boar I can just stack my buffs onto something, or if I hit Tralga, which is probably way better, I have a Menagerie setup and I can just jab the Tralga. We have a good demon to buff up, Quillboar, and our buddy gave us Hogger. Yes, it's one of those games. So we got a Hogger. We take 15 from Patches because he's playing double tank. I don't know why. We're on 30 HP. It's kind of spooky, but luckily there's a ghost in the lobby and we're able to face them. So now we're torn into like a different direction, right? I take the Bronze Sword and the Battle Master, I think, still because they're just strong, and if I go into Menagerie they would be useful. And I'm also going to take a Salt Lotus and just 1 gold, and if I find another Hogger I can just pivot fully into Pirates, or if I hit a Tony I can golden this Hogger and we can just, yeah, pivot into APM Pirates. And there is another looter and an arm in the shop. I'm trying to figure out what the best line here is. Decide to give up on the pair of the mummy, and I'm just gonna, you know, take the Devourer first. Obviously it's free stats, so you're just gonna eat the Battle Master and probably take the pair onto the Salty Looter. I don't think we need the arm, because I mean we're not full pirates yet. We know that there's patches in the lobby as well, so I'm not sure if we can even outstat them at this rate. And I still have this Flat Tusk that I kind of want to use and abuse. That's why I bought the Bronze Sword, and after all, shop is bad. And the buddy gave us Kangor, which is absolutely horrible. Doesn't matter though, you know, sometimes you get trash. That's just the way life works. Found a Pumbaa, so now at least we double the stats that we put out with the Flat Tusk. But yeah, Flat Tusk also has obviously great synergy with Hogger, because Hogger allows you to cycle a lot of cards, spend a lot of gold, and then you generate a lot of gems with Flat Tusk. And there's a Tony, and I want a gold on this Hogger guaranteed. So I think we have to go out of the Salt Looters, also out of the buddy. The buddy is way too weak. It's a neutral. I can't really afford to keep it. And if I keep the Salty Looters, I know it's a pair, and I know we could start scaling them with the golden Hogger, but I don't want a golden looter here on accident. That would just throw the game, and you know, play this Pumbaa as well. I need to play my cards for, you know, strength, so I don't think I can even keep them around anyway. I need to taunt if I do want to try and golden this Hogger. So they have to go. Don't get too baited. I'll just take some more free stats. I have a handful of gems. The reason I'm not spending them is in case I'll do several aggem, then I want to use them obviously onto that aggem. And there's a Bran, which, like, we have a menagerie setup, right? Like, we got Quillboar, we got Beast, we got Pirate, we got Demon, and we got Dragon in hand, so we have still multiple ways we can go. So we have to try and fix our positioning here in order to try and, you know, guarantee that we golden this Hogger and go into APM Flat Tusk stuff. Now, this is a very fun comp that used to be really good back when Quillboars got just released. It's just Flat Tusk, aggem preferably, and then like Hoggers, and you just cycle Pirates to get gems and just gem up your entire board, and it's beautiful. So that's what I'm leaning into right now, since it seems like we're not going into full APM Pirates. It's a little bit late, and I got this brand, like we have an amazing menagerie setup anyway. We're able to golden the Hogger, you know, as expected. We take 6 damage, we lose the fight, but we're not dead, which is great. Obviously, dying is not good. And now we just start cycling Pirates. I can go out of the Tony, and we just have to start and look for something better than just a Pumbaa to scale. And there's the aggem. Finally, after a couple turns of looking, we found our main scaling unit, and now this is going to transition into an APM Menagerie game. One of the most fun playstyles I think there is, one of the most fun boards you can have, because it's flexible, your Menagerie changes every time, and you still need to have some high APM and do some crazy turns. If you've never seen this build before, I would say sit back and enjoy the show, because yeah, it's a lot of fun to play and hopefully also to watch. Now, I'm not sure if we can keep the brand. It would be nice with buffs that we could find like Jug, but I haven't found anything yet. And I need a board spot because I really want to play this Bronze Warden as well, since then, you know, we buff more, and you will see how satisfying this is, buffing an entire board with just gems. This is amazing. And we need taunt, so I'm looking for Argus probably. Selfless, we could start taking Selflesses, although it's rather early and I still need some scaling, so probably not yet. Other than that, I guess we could still take Jugs, we could still take Soul Devourers, and we could still take a Baron Aggem maybe. And we could level soon. It's 2 gold to level, which I didn't realize, so I'm leveling soon. Don't worry about it, you don't have to comment. But yeah, this comp is just very simple, very straightforward. Just cycle stuff and play strong boards. I even ran out of time here. I didn't expect to go this much into APM. I'm gonna freeze this full pirate shop for sure, and you know, level to try and hit Hamuls maybe. Hamul can get me the triples onto Flat Tusk, onto aggem. And now if you compare us to the patches who dealt 15 to us earlier, we're just an absolute monster. We just spiked so hard and we're able to generate so many stats out of thin air. It's absolutely beautiful. Best late game would still be a board full of Amalgadons as always, especially since we're Menagerie, but we're up against a Maleficent with full HP. Now Maleficent is known as the bomber who just like nukes your entire board, so stats are gonna matter. I need to get as big as possible here, so I can survive the Squirrel Bomb with Baron and Kangaroo, and hopefully they don't, you know, kill my entire board, which is very important. So that's one thing like that I like about this matchup, is that stats matter and you actually just have to like get big and get strong. But if you can't do that, if you're a scam comp or whatever, you just get completely destroyed unless you have Zap. I wasn't able to find Zap this turn. I'm skipping through most of this turn because it's just buying and selling Pirates and playing buffs on aggem. There's no interesting decisions here. One thing that I also do is put aggem to the right side, because when I start gemming up, I have to always try and like hit the aggem with the gem. Sometimes I accidentally hit my Flat Tusk, so I need to put my aggem in the corner so I will never miss. That is just maybe a me thing, but it's a thing that is interesting to keep in mind if you also have trouble with APM comps, with like figuring out where to buff what and your board. Just put whatever you use most in the right spot or the leftmost spot, so that way you don't have to think about it twice. Turns out we do have enough stats, just barely though, actually just barely. We have a lot of stats left, but we're able to beat the Maleficent. Luckily, seems like we're big enough. They can still spike though and get stronger. We're up against Ghost, so this is a free turn. I also ghouled the Maleficent, by the way, ended up doing nothing because he only had 1 Divine Shield. But yeah, better safe than sorry. I also got my 2 buddies, which do nothing. I could handle one of my buddies maybe, because we're up against Ghost, if, you know, I have the money for it. But there's an Argus, which I would really like. There's also a Necrolite, which, you know, I would love to put all the stats, I think, onto my Bronze Warden. So I'm only gonna play a 1 taunt, playing around Cleave, even though there's the only Cleave would be 4 Reaper, but Maleficent could definitely have that Necro onto the Bronze Warden, and I had to sell my buddies for it. There's no way I could get to the Necrolite without freezing if I didn't sell my buddies, so sadly couldn't end on one of them, but I think it's fine. Like, it's just gonna give me trash anyway. There's an Amalgadon, there's another Hogger. Another Hogger means that we're infinite. So Golden Hogger, normal Hogger means that we're literally infinite with infinite gold if we just keep buying Pirates. So I need to sell something on my board, which is probably gonna be the Pumbaa. I think is the most useless card here. It's a beast, and sure, it gives me some stats, but the demon is too big. Everything else I kind of need as part of this menagerie. So yeah, it's just gonna be APM Pirates. Now this turn is very monotone. There's not much to explain because it's just cycling stuff. So I'm just gonna cue some really cool music, and I hope you enjoyed this game. Hope you will enjoy this final turn of me doing crazy stuff and finding a triple onto this aggem, and there's some other exciting stuff happening as well, and the last and final fight as well. Thank you for watching.